All right, welcome back, everybody. Chris Heerlein here, CEO of REAP Financial and host of Wealth Radio. So glad you're joining me every week here, 11 a.m., to stay on top of the latest, where I'm sharing the same things that we do with our very own successful clients at REAP Financial, our successful retirees. We want you educated and we want you confident walking into retirement. And today, I'm really talking about something that applies to every listener. It's 10 signs that you're not ready to retire just yet. Maybe we're close, but these are things that I want you to be considering that are well beyond what investments you're using, your portfolio allocation, and more, right? These are things that most don't think about walking into retirement. And I talked today about, having a budget, having a real sense of your income needs in retirement. Are you still supporting financially family members, kids? It can take a significant toll on your portfolio. I mean, it can shave years and years off the longevity of your portfolio. Even $500 a month, $400 a month, it's shocking because your budget's everything, right? Listen, I want you to go to wealthradio.com right now before I forget. I want you to submit your question. Just click on that microphone button and I'll get to it in upcoming week's shows. And I've got a list of those that have come in, so we'll get to those, our listeners, here in a bit. But when we're talking about the 10 signs that you're not ready to retire just yet, let's talk about a really important one. You don't have a clear plan for what you're going to do and how you're going to spend your time. Listen, there's two types of people. There's ones that retire and they immediately go, I have so much going on, got so many things to do that I don't know how I even had time to work. The other is, I don't know what to do. I don't know what my identity is, what my purpose is. I was working for 35 years. I had a job title. I was climbing the ladder. I had an impact. You're driven by projects, whatever it is. I've always encouraged families that are getting close to retirement to not think about the date of retirement, but what you're going to do. You're not retiring from something. You're going into something, okay? This is a incredible transition. And it's interesting how some people, it's really easy, and other people, very hard. And this situation is that I'm mentioning here is less, I guess it's better ways, when COVID hit and everybody started working from home, a lot of you didn't go back. And so what once was two spouses saying goodbye in the morning and 8 to 10 hours later coming back and talking about their day together after work, that norm has changed quite a bit for people. But where I'm going with this is that you need to be prepared to be retired and be spending a lot more time with the people, your spouse or family members, people that are under your roof. And psychologically, this can be tough. This can be a tough transition. It's not just you don't like this person. It's just that for 35 years or more, you weren't with them every hour of the day. Or they weren't asking you where you were going when you picked up your keys. Or why are you going to go play another round of golf? Because you played the last 3 days in a row. You know where I'm going with this? So that's a sign. And so, you got all the cliche things that you should do to prepare for retirement. And I've talked about so many of these cliche things. But what we're talking about today is less cliche, real life things that you really need to be considering. The conversations, a lot of these aren't fun, right? The budget conversation, having to talk to your child or family member about not being able to financially support them or taper that off. Having a conversation about what are me and my spouse going to do? What are we going to do together? What are we going to do with all this time? And conversations may come up like, hey, maybe it's time to move out of this big house and move closer to the kids or the grandkids. Or maybe let's get out of this summer heat and move up north. I mean, there's just so many things. But we want to talk through these before just hanging it up and going, okay, what now? I want to take a question here from Ernest. Ernest, he says, he says, is a 457 plan good? And that's interesting because we had a question earlier from a gal that was asking about investing in a 457. I mean, a 457, Ernest, there's 457, there's 403B, there's 401k, there's a number of these type of plans. They're very similar. And a lot of it just has to do with the organization, the entity, or the employer, whether it's a 457 or a 401k. But, these are plans that allow you to invest for your retirement future. Oftentimes there's a match. You've got investment options. Even as late here in 2025, I mean, we see a lot more plans, people using Roth 401ks. I really like that, or a Roth 403B. You can do a little bit of both. So it's not like one is really better than another, Ernest. You may have one yourself or planning on maybe working for an employer that's offering that. So I think the bottom line is, it's good to pay yourself first. It's good to have money coming out of the paycheck, because if you don't see it, you don't spend it. So I think that's a good plan, obviously. So that being said, thanks for the questions. You can go to wealthradio.com, click on the microphone button. You can submit yours as well, and we'll get to those in upcoming weeks. So talking today, for those of you just tuning in the last minute or two, I'm really focusing on 10 signs that you're not ready to retire just yet. And another one that I really want you to be considering is the tax implications and the healthcare cost that come with a transition to retirement. Let's paint the picture. You're 62, you've got a nice portfolio, and you're ready to hang it up. Well, chances are you're going to get off the paycheck, and what are we going to do for healthcare? In most cases, a lot of people will go on COBRA. Generally, that's about 18 months. Well, if you retire at 62, you're not at 65 yet to get on Medicare. So you need to be thinking through what your healthcare costs are going to be. What's your healthcare plan, bridging the gap between whatever age you're retiring into age 65. Okay, so that's a big one, because healthcare costs are very expensive, right? I mean, we whether it's a Obamacare or you're doing COBRA. I mean, you need to be prepared to spend $700, $800, $900 a month per person. And see, the issue that can come with that is that means you're withdrawing more out of the portfolio in early retirement to pay for healthcare costs. And then when you got on Medicare, maybe those healthcare costs go down, you're pulling less, but you're draining the portfolio very heavy in the early years. Listen, we work with a lot of successful families that have plenty of wealth to be able to pay for that and supplement that. But you need to know if your portfolio can sustain that increased withdrawal rate in those early years. Also, tax implications. Everybody thinks, hey, I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to be a lower tax bracket. Let me tell you something right now. More than 50% of families that my team of fiduciary advisors retire every year, more than 50% are either in the same tax bracket or potentially in a higher tax bracket the first 12, 24 months after retirement. And you're like, how is that possible? I had, top level paycheck, highest pay I've ever had, and that's going to go away. Now, keep in mind, it's sitting for everybody, but a lot of you successful people, you've got a lifestyle that's grown with your success. And so now it's time to retire. Paycheck goes away. We go to live on the retirement accounts. And most of your wealth typically is in IRAs, 401ks, which is 100% taxable. And you are needing to maintain this lifestyle. So you're still pulling out a significant amount of taxable income. So you're just paying yourself a paycheck from your taxable accounts now. Now, there's cases where you may go live on cash, or you may go live on brokerage accounts early on. And yeah, you may be able to get in a lower tax bracket. In fact, that's one of the things we help You do at Reed Financial. We design your wealth to generate the income you need in the most tax efficient way, so you're keeping more every month, every year, so you can spend more and give more. So if you have not considered what tax bracket you're going to be in, not just the year you retire, but even more importantly, 10 years and 15, 20 years out, because when you look at what taxes you're going to be paying 20 years out at even today's 40-year low tax rates, it can be shocking. A lot of people don't understand that these required distributions and that Medicare premiums can really go up. They can skyrocket. I mean, based on today's historically low rates, we are seeing that people are in the same and even higher tax brackets in later years of retirement because of required distributions and because of inflation. As inflation's going up, you're having to pull more out of the portfolio to do the same thing. And if it's all taxable, you're showing more income. So there's times throughout this retirement career of yours where you may jump a bracket. In some cases, you may go back down. In other cases, you never go back down. But if you haven't considered this, there's a real sign that you're not ready to retire just yet. Now, I want to give you another one here because I think it'd be misjustice if I don't at least talk about this. And I'm going to spend very little time on this. I want to talk about your portfolio. Okay. The last couple of years, you felt like a hero because the S&P and the markets have been doing great. Here in 2025, at least as of the date of this recording, the markets have been very volatile. As of the date of this recording, the S&P is negative on the year. And a lot of the gains that we saw last year have been given back. If you're not going to withdraw from your portfolio for another 5, 10, 20 years, you're able to take more risk than the retiree that is going to have to immediately start drawing on the portfolio. When you start drawing, you need to allocate your portfolio in a way that you've got money that is not going to be lost when the stock market's going down, that you know is going to be steady and stable, kind of boring, so that you can ensure you've got a paycheck.